God created the human body as a finely tuned physical engine of enormous power, but it requires fuel to keep operating. So why would anyone choose to go hungry? The world calls not eating dieting, and usually does it to lose weight or for health reasons. But some go without eating for spiritual reasons. This is referred to in the Bible as fasting. A fast is typically held for a set period of time in order to achieve a spiritual goal. Matthew 6:16-18. When you fast, do not look somber as the hypocrites do, for they disfigure their faces to show others they are fasting. Truly I tell you, they have received their reward in full. 17. But when you fast, put oil on your head and wash your face. 18. So that it will not be obvious to others that you are fasting, but only to your Father who is unseen, and your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. When you give up food, both enjoyable and necessary, you draw God's attention. Even back then, Jesus warned us not to flaunt our fasting. Jesus warned his disciples not to fast for public acclaim. The fact that he says, "Whenever you fast," indicates that he regards fasting as a legitimate spiritual discipline. To fast is to temporarily abstain from a bodily craving, usually food, for the sake of a spiritual need. Instead of eating, you devote yourself to secret prayer, seeking God's intervention in the kingdom. If you've never fasted before, the thought of going without food for any length of time is probably frightening. Others have different concerns, such as, can I hold out? They don't want to embark on a journey they won't be able to complete. Others are concerned about how their friends will perceive them if they fast. The answer is simple. You don't fast to impress your friends, and you usually don't even tell them. As previously stated, Jesus said, "When you fast, anoint your head and wash your face, so that you do not appear to men to be fasting, but to your Father who is in the secret place, and your Father who sees in secret will reward you openly." Matthew 6:17-18. Jesus was reminding us not to make an outward show of our religious dedication to God. Fasting, on the other hand, is a private commitment between you and God. You can fast privately and not tell anyone. Other times you will participate in a public fast, such as with your church or another individual. Fasting is a biblical discipline that can help anyone improve their spiritual fitness and become a prayer warrior for God. Some believe that Christians do not require discipline. However, we build our strength through spiritual exercises. We must remember that we are Christ's soldiers. A good soldier is well versed in a variety of disciplines. Fasting is just one of a Christian's many disciplines. Fasting, like climbing a mountain, is both spiritually and physically demanding. Set out on this adventure with a clear understanding of what you're doing and the knowledge that the road ahead may be difficult, but the benefits will be well worth it. Start small if this is your first fast. God will honor your first step of faith, which may appear small to others but be a giant one for you. God is also concerned about your heart's response during a fast. Your attitude is a very serious part of your fast. Just like when a man proposes to a woman, it is not the length of his proposal that gets a yes, but his heart. So when you start fasting, don't worry about how long your fast should last. Just make sure your relationship with God is in good working order. God is aware of everything. He understands and values the sincerity of your prayers over and above their length. So, if you've never fasted before, start with a one-meal skip fast. In the Old Testament, Jews were required to fast for one day on Yom Kippur every year. A day began at sundown and ended at sundown the following day, according to the Jewish calendar. God taught the Jews how to count their days. So the evening and the morning were the first day. Genesis 1:5. And to start your fast when the sun goes down, or perhaps a little before the sun goes down. This means you are going to do without the normal evening meal, then skip breakfast and lunch the following day. After the sun went down, most Jews broke their fast by eating a normal meal. If you're fasting for a specific answer to prayer, invite someone else to pray and fast with you. There's strength in numbers. Jesus said, Matthew 18:18-19, "Truly I tell you, whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. Again, truly I tell you, that if two of you on earth agree about anything they ask for, it will be done for them by my Father in heaven." These verses are not just about prayer. They are also about the commitment we make in agreement with someone else. Purposeful fasting. When you're getting ready to fast, look deep within your heart to find out why you're fasting. Make a list of your cause. Put it down on paper so you can see it with your own eyes. When you keep a cause wrapped up in your mind, it can become blurred or vague. You may have a general idea about why you should fast right now, but take the time to write down your reasoning. It will sharpen your focus if you see it written down. Plan everything. Don't enter your fast casually or with a hit or miss attitude. Plan to succeed. Make a firm commitment to fast for one day, regardless of the circumstances. What kind of fast? Types of fasts. The absolute fast. This is a fast where you eliminate all food and water. Paul followed this type of fast for 3 days after he saw the Lord Jesus on the road to Damascus and was struck blind. And he, Paul, was 3 days without sight and neither ate nor drank. Acts 9:9. In your first fast, do not follow the absolute fast. This fast is intended for those who are deeply distressed or who are fasting to solve a severe problem, such as deliverance from an addiction or protection from a spiritual adversary. The normal fast. During this fast, you avoid all solid foods and drink only liquids. Fasting is most often used in the Bible to refer to people who do not eat solid food. The issue of drinking liquids is usually omitted. In those days, he, Jesus, ate nothing, and afterward, when they had ended, he was hungry. Luke 4:2. There is no mention of Jesus drinking liquids. When people fast, what do they drink? Many people cut out enjoyable drink items like soda and various types of fruit drinks. This corresponds to the Old Testament description of them afflicting themselves and fasting. The partial fast. In this fast, you eliminate certain liquids or certain solids, but not all liquids and solids. This is also called the Daniel fast. Whatever fast you choose as your first, keep in mind that it is a leap of faith. God sees your heart and will reward you accordingly.